In today's session, we're going to be learning about do women need to fast on Tisha B'Av or not? Pregnant women, nursing women. The previous sessions, we were discussing who is exempt from fasting on the minor fast, Shavasa B'Tammuz, Som Gedalia, Sar B'Teves, all the more so Tainus Esther. Now we are going to be going into Tisha B'Av land because it's coming up in a few days. And it's a parallel topic and it's very relevant. So, who exactly is exempted from fasting on Tisha B'Av? That's what we're going to be covering. We're going to just go straight through the Mishna Berura, it's nothing fancy, and make a few points based on outside knowledge and ideas to pick up on. The Shulchan Aruch in Siman Tov Kuf Nun Dalet Sif Hey writes as follows. It should be pointed out that this entire Siman Tov Kuf Nun Dalet, we actually went through and was successfully recorded. Rabbi.com, and I moved it over on a playlist, no videos, just audio. And actually, we had groups of people who got together on Tisha B'Av itself when we learned this, and we successfully learned together the entire Siman. It took a lot of effort, but that's what we did. These two Sifim were not recorded, the ones that we're doing right now. It was around 12 years ago or something, and we skipped these two sifim that deal with who is exempted from fasting. Back then, I was hesitant and I didn't research the topic as properly, and requires a lot of research. This is the probably out of all areas of halacha regarding Tisha B'Av, the most shilas come from this area. This is the classic rabbi phone call. This is a phone call that every single rav gets multiple times a year. Do I need to fast? Do I not need to fast? It's the most basic question, but yet the answer is not necessarily a basic answer. And it depends on many factors, and there are many different opinions, as we'll see. So the Shulchan Aruch, that being said, after the Shulchan Aruch discusses what you are not allowed to learn on Tisha B'Av, then moves into the topic of who needs to fast, who doesn't need to fast. So the Shulchan Aruch over here in Sifhei quotes a statement of Rava in the Gemara Psachim Nun Daled. Ubarus umenikois misanois b'Tisha B'Av. Both pregnant and nursing women fast on Tisha B'Av. Kederech shemisanos umashlimos b'yoim Kippur. Like the way that they fast and complete the fast on Yom Kippur. But on the other fasts, they're exempt from fasting. The minor ones, like we just said. And even so, when she breaks her fast and the other fast, she shouldn't be indulging in delicacies and fancy food items or drinks. Rather, she should eat and drink in order to make sure that the fetus is provided for properly. Simin Tavkov Nun Sif Aleph. Look earlier in Simin Tavkov Nun Sif Aleph.
Rama who approached that subject, no? Like him.
Yes. So the Rama over there was more stringent than the Shulchan Aruch over there, which is what the topic that we obviously recently learned together and spent time. And now we see how it's very appropriate to learn this because the two topics obviously cross-reference one another. Over there, the Rama was more stringent and said technically they don't need to fast, but the custom is for them to fast if they are not in pain.
He doesn't even have the He just
doesn't talk about it.
Blanket.
The Shulchan Aruch Lishi Tasso, as we saw over there, the Shulchan Aruch was lenient, and therefore over here he will also provide this leniency over here, just to pull up over here to remind ourselves of the language of the Shulchan Aruch over there. Hakol. Well, actually, the Shulchan Aruch didn't even mention it at all over there. The Ramah is the one that pipes in. But we see what the Shulchan Aruch holds over here. And cross-reference what he holds over there. Certainly he's more lenient, and we will going to see a more of a leniency in the Shulchan Aruch in the next sift also. There's actually no Mishna Berura on this. So what we see from this, I mean, if you close up shop right now and everything, you say it is prohibited for a woman to break her fast, even if she's pregnant or nursing. I mean, that's what we see from this. Comes out. Comes out if you close it up on Tisha B'av. Tisha B'av is going to be like Yom Kippur. Women have to fast even if they're pregnant or nursing. Now that would be very dangerous for someone to do because that is not necessarily the case. The Shulchan Aruch proceeds in the next sip, and he says a chaya kol shloishim yom. What does chaya mean?
Okay, bro.
That's David's daughter's name.
Ah,
Chaya Tov. What does chaya mean? Chaya means a woman who just gave birth. Kol shloishim yom. She's fresh. She gave birth within the last 30 days. V'chein, and similarly, chayla shehu sarech le'echel. A sick person who needs to eat. So it says in Shulchan Aruch, in srichim oimid. You don't need to estimate, assess the situation. Ella, rather, machilin oisay miyad. We feed them immediately, says Shulchan Aruch. Because in the place of a sickness, the rabbis didn't decree. So according to the Shulchan Aruch over here, no problem. She gave birth within 30 days, permissible 100%. Or someone who's sick. Comes the Ramah, is more stringent. The custom is for them to fast as long as they don't have a lot of pain. Which there could be a concern of danger. Someone who is lenient doesn't lose out. What does that mean?
hmm.
The Ramah is saying custom is to fast. Pregnant nursing women, the custom is to fast as long as they're not in pain, as long as there is no danger. Okay, so we clearly see that the Ramah holds that a pregnant and nursing woman, they are supposed to fast. Then the Ramah comes with this super duper interesting statement of, oh, if you're lenient, you don't lose out. I'll be lenient. Not going to lose out. How would I fast? So it seems like in the Ramah's world over here, better not to come on to this. Better too fast, not in a lot of pain. However, if you don't, you wouldn't lose out. That's the Ramah. So we clearly see that the Ramah is much more stringent than the Shulchan Aruch. According to Shulchan Aruch, no problem. Feed them immediately, makom chayli lo goes to Rabbanu. According to the Ramah, no. They should fast. Mishna Berura over here goes into this. See, this is why this is an area which is a specialty. It's a little long in the Mishna Berura. Person has to have patience to go through it properly. And then there's more after the Mishna Berura. So that's why it's a classic Shiloh. What's bottom line over here? Bottom line is we're going to need to learn right now. Okay? We're going to need to keep moving over here. Bottom line so far, we see. just make a few points over here. Okay? Based on other knowledge that I was saying before. Right now, we see pregnant nursing woman needs to fast. That's what we see. Okay. As in general, she's pregnant or nursing. We see that all pregnant women or all women who just gave birth are not the same. Right? No two people are alike. Everyone has a different size and shape. And the idea is that even within the stage of pregnancy and the stage of postpartum, there are different stages. We see from over here that clearly, according to the Shulchan Aruch, any pregnant or woman or nursing woman needs to fast. Then we see in Sifav, but if she is postpartum and gave birth within the last 30 days, there's a leniency. The Ramah didn't come on to that leniency. The question is, why is postpartum being grouped as within 30 days after giving birth. A woman who gives birth after the first few days is clearly in a lot more pain and discomfort than 30 days later. Her body isn't as strong, which could negatively affect her milk supply. So the Shulchan Aruch over here isn't addressing that. It's a little vague. And by the way, that is precisely the issue with the Shulchan Aruch. He's very straight to the point and doesn't go in a lot of different areas. That's why we need to spend time learning the commentaries. That's actually why the Lavush decided to author his work. So the Shulchan Aruch doesn't talk about that. It's not getting discussed over here. It's getting discussed briefly, someone who's sick. Okay? It doesn't get discussed someone who's weak necessarily over here.
Basically equating it to.
Yeah. Equating a chayla, someone who's sick, not someone who's weak. He's not talking about someone who's older age. Not talking about someone with medical symptoms. Well, that's sick. That's medical symptom. That's already sick. Uh, what's not getting discussed over here is if it will negatively affect a woman's milk supply. Not getting discussed over here. Not getting discussed if the kid's also on formula. I mean, there's a lot of details which aren't being discussed over here. It's not discussed, okay, you could feed him immediately. Okay. So what does that mean? If someone doesn't need to halachically fast, when are they allowed to eat? Are they allowed to eat from the beginning of Tisha B'Av? The night before? The morning? Doesn't get discussed over there. How much are they allowed to eat? Okay. We saw by the other fast the Shulchan Aruch mentioned over here in Sifei, they shouldn't be eating very lavish meals and delicacies, fine. What about in Tisha B'Av? Is there a concept of achila b'shiurim? On Yom Kippur, you're only supposed to have minimal amounts. Does that apply over here? So there are a lot of questions that need clarity over here. That being said, let's start the Mishna Berura. The Mishna Berura over here says Chaya Kol Shloshim. There's no Mishna Berura in Sifei. The Mistoma Amrinon. Why, if she's within the first 30 days after giving birth, does the Shulchan Aruch say that she's permitted to eat? The Mistoma Amrinon Shehi Chalusha, because we assume that she is weak. And therefore, v'havi kechoyle shemo sakana. She's weak. She considered someone who is sick with a non-dangerous sickness. Okay, and therefore, after the Inyan Yom Hakipurim, hila acher shiva kishar kol adam k'moshe kasa b'simin tafresh zayin. Even though that regarding Yom Kippur, she, meaning a woman who recently gave birth, after lacher shiva. What does after shiva mean? She is after 7 days after giving birth, she's like all other people. As it says in Hilchos Yom Kippur and Siman Tafrei Shid Zayin. Kan over here, Linyan Tisha B'Av Shudra Abanam like Gazru Makom Chayil. Over here regarding Tisha B'Av, the rabbis didn't decree in a case of sickness. In other words, on Yom Kippur, after 7 days, she's got to fast. You don't come on to this leniency according to the Shulchan Aruch within 30 days after giving birth, and she could break the fast. But by Tisha B'Av, since it's rabbinic in nature, Tisha B'Av is d'Rabbanan. Therefore, the rabbis didn't decree, and therefore, that's why she doesn't need to fast. Specifically by Tisha B'Av, but not Yom Kippur. Continuing in the Mishna Berura, I already read this. Look at the Taz and the other Achronim. Dafilu v'adai ein ba. Taz says, even if for sure she doesn't have a sickness that mentions later on a sakana, even if she's not in danger, and even if she doesn't say we need to eat mutter b'Tisha B'Av, she's allowed to eat on Tisha B'Av. Tremendous leniency that the Taz is unleashing over here. Even though the Marshal Rosh Maluya argues on what it says in Shulchan Aruch, the Daisa when he holds, excuse me, that regarding this halacha, Tisha B'Av will be similar to Yom Kippur. Even if she says I need to eat, even since after 7 days, she's obligated to fast. Unless she's a little sick. Harbe achronim eskimu de Medina shayla echel. Many achronim agree that from the letter of the law she is allowed to eat. So we see that many achronim are learning that the Shulchan Aruch holds that she is a full-fledged heter. She's totally permitted to eat if she's within 30 days after giving birth. By the way, you'll say, when does this happen? The answer is it's happening to me right now and my wife.
She's been 30.
Within 30. By Tisha B'Av, it's going to be like day 15 or something.
Oh.
Yeah, probably not even 15. Probably more like day 11. Last Sunday. Yeah, something like that. 10, 11 days, something like that. Okay.
It's in the red zone.
Yeah. Achein. So far looks good according to the Shulchan Aruch. One problem. We're Ashkenaz. Achein kvar nahagul lehisanois k'moshe kosav Ramah. The custom is already to fast like the Ramah says, kol zman she'ein lehem chushav v'nesrapu milidasim. Custom is already to fast like the Ramah says, as long as they're not weak and they were healed from the childbirth. They were healed. So obviously, this line over here is going to have a major ramification.
Like how she feels.
How was the childbirth? Was it a C-section? Was it regular?
Yeah.
Were there medical complications? How is the whole healing process in general going without going into all the intricate details?
And how is she feeling?
How's she feeling? She weak? Is this an only child? Because we already saw from many Rosh Yeshivas, at least by the other fast, be more lenient for a woman who has a lot of kids in the house. Right? I'm not saying that plays a real strong halachic factor over here, which doesn't come up in Shulchan Aruch ever. It's something to contend with because that could delay your healing.
Is it true that nursing makes them feel weaker because they get out of their body?
Oh yeah, nursing sucks the life out of you.
Again, I don't,
Oh yeah, you don't remember from your wife?
I don't know.
Nursing, tremendous amount of energy. You could Google it in your own time later. How many calories it burns? It's considered like exercise and what it does. So you're tremendous. You need to drink a lot more, eat more. You're basically a life machine.
There's other factors involved in.
Yeah, but that factor, that's obvious. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a chaya. We're talking about a minekes. It's obvious she's nursing. Nursing didn't change. Right, in the last 500 years, in the last 1,000, 2,000 years, same system. Right?
They put them on the formula right away.
I'm not talking about the formula. I'm talking about regular nursing.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, how long has formula been around?
And we're gonna go into the details of the nursing. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time to finish all this before Tisha B'Av, but we could always meet on Tisha B'Av. Number one, number two, we could always finish it after Tisha B'Av. The Torah HaKadoshah on Tisha B'Av exists after Tisha B'Av also. Right? This is very insightful. It's mutter, right? So I'll give the hat there. You could learn about Tisha B'Av not even after Tisha B'Av. The point is, you have to cheshbon. Let's say a woman could nurse on Tisha B'Av, but now because of her not eating, it's going to affect her milk supply even after Tisha B'Av, and it can help wean the child off the milk. We're going to discuss all of these nuances that come up. Everything that I'm asking, I saw written somewhere. I'm not making it up on my own. Okay. Now, let's talk about this for a moment. Okay. As long as she isn't weak and she was healed, the Ramah said she's got to fast. If she's not completely healed, she's a little bit sick. She's weak in her nature. She should not fast within 30 days. And if it occurred, if it happened, it happened, let's say you're a healthy woman, and she said, you know what, I could do this, I could fast. In the middle of the day, she felt an extra weakness. You should pass that she should not fast the rest of the day. I'm just going to say it outside right now, but we will see it inside. This is a massive machloikes between the psak of the Mishna Berura and the Aruch HaShulchan. The chronim from close to our time. David, you know what the Mishna Berura is passing over here? If
I
a
don't
woman's within
know.
30 days of giving birth, does she need to fast?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
What are you talking about?
And
She needs to.
what? The
If she
Rama
feels
is
like she's
the
strong and she
Rama.
can handle it, she needs to. Guess what? The
I'm just
Aruch
so
HaShulchan
excited,
says,
bro.
Chos. He said the language of Chalila. She shouldn't fast within 30 days. Big leniency from the Aruch HaShulchan. We'll see that inside. Next, Mishna Berura. What does that mean? Sick? Chaser deya. Shinasrap yom yom. Someone who was lacking knowledge who was healed from one day to another. Muslim b'basa b'yayim. Kol yimei should be permitted to have meat and wine for kol yimei shavu the entire week. Well, Yisan of Tisha B'av shouldn't fast on Tisha B'av. I think what this is. I think what this is talking about. Chaser deya is a mental health. I think that this is what that's referring to. Someone who's having he went through
Anxiety or something?
some anything under the category of you're lacking knowledge, mental health thing. So which Mishnah Berurah? Let's see if they talk about this. This is the end of Tess.
Where's that? Where do we see that? Where do we see that in
Chassid
that
Deya
left?
Yud. Peter
Yeah, no.
Shemidi Yoim v'Yoim u'Misrap Ma. He's healing slowly. V'chein yesh chashash sakonim yisan. The danger if he's going to fast. V'im lo yochel basar basar ki kaven she'adayim l'Misrap l'gamri l'hiluch l'Misrapa. He's not going to eat meat. It could be dangerous. So he's allowed to eat. Which they
Tisha
said.
B'av itself, I think.
Yeah, we're not learning halachas in 9 days. Don't get confused.
You said Kol Shavuot, no, didn't you say so?
Yeah, because it's not a quick in and out process.
So it doesn't explain.
Okay.
Chassid means he's improving in his overall health.
Yeah, right now.
No, lacking, isn't it
Lacking
lacking?
knowledge. Yeah, the mental health.
That's not how he explained it.
What do you mean? That's not how he explained it. How do you explain it differently? Huh? Talking about?
Perish.
Yeah, it's a slow process. It doesn't when a person gets a major bruise, it doesn't go away in 2 days. Here, I cut myself on one of my kids open my cabinet, open one of the cabinets and broke a vase. So I'm cleaning the vase out, I put it in the garbage, ripped through the garbage a little bit, I was putting another bag on it, tore my finger. It's gonna be there for a week and a half.
It takes a while to get over. It's over.
Ooh, that's a deep.
So that's still going on.
What about the real thing about stitches?
Yeah, no stitches.
I know.
Uncle Ponna, she has a shiloh about fasting?
She wants them to pick me up. I know she's still picking that up.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So she was gonna call it. Okay. Mishna Berura Yud Aleph. Shehu Sarach Lechel. He's talking about over here. He's talking about a sick person who needs to eat. Where it's a loymar shu chalosh v'chash b'gufo. He's weak. He's got an ache on his body. Afal pi sheim basakani, even though there's no danger, ma'achilun, so you feed him. That's fine. In Sri Kamayim, you don't need to assess the situation. King Charach Lemer v'atravai hukai. This is what you need to say, and it's going on both of them. Does that mean both of them? I think this means the chaya, someone who just gave birth, and the sick person. That's what they say over here. Okay? Going on both of them. Atravai hukai. Forget about that. V'chein isa b'Torah Sodom u'ran. That's what Torah Sodom says in the Ran. Next page, Rakavana. The intention over here is the ein sarach la'oimeru lashar. You don't need to assess, evaluate. Im tavli de sakana. If you're going to come to a danger. Ali de from this shit tisana by fasting. Tafilu imba sakana. Even if there's not going to be a danger. Since she's included in a category of a sick person, you don't need to fast. Look at the Pri Chadash who writes, the Ratzona Loimar, this means the Mestama Ma'achilu Noisa. We feed him. But if we know that the woman who just gave birth is actually able to fast, the Hainu Shrosa Atzma Bria, meaning that she's healthy, then she's obligated to fast. In other words, the Mishnah Berura is reiterating, solidifying his psak that he previously gave, that if she is able to handle fasting, then she should fast. What are we talking about that she recently gave birth? This is the very important Mishnah Berura. Miyun Hagum Lasanos is going on the Ramah that we hold like the custom is for them to fast. I know even if she says, I need to eat, the custom is to fast. B'davka acher shiva. This is specifically talking about after 7 days after she gave birth. That's when, according to the Mishna Berura within the Ramah, she needs to fast. Aval toich shiva afilu amra eini sricha eimel. But if it's within 7 days of her giving birth, the postpartum is within 7 days, even if she says, I don't need food, she doesn't need to fast. Certainly within 3 days it's prohibited for her to fast. So it comes out that we have four different levels, four different stages. Within 3 days,
No question
she doesn't fast. No question.
She
Also for her to fast.
also for the fast, yeah.
Also within 3 days. Within 7 days, running out of time. That's the story of my life. I'm running out of time. We have limited time in this world. We're running out of time. Within 7 days, then what? So then we're gonna say she's got to. She doesn't.
She shouldn't fast.
Even if she said she doesn't need anything,
Right, but she should.
She shouldn't fast. Not that it's awesome, but she shouldn't fast within 7 days. After 7, within 30, Mishna Berura said, "Look, if she feels good, she should fast. If she doesn't feel weak, if she doesn't feel sick, the Aruch HaShulchan says, no, forget about it. She's not gonna fast." It's interesting. No one mentioned her milk supply over here, but okay.
Yeah.
After 30 days, then that's it.
Game over.
Yeah, she's got to fast after 30 days. That is the basic psak. And we're not done with this to happen yet, but that's the basic conclusion of where we're coming out. You have to sprinkle in that Aruch HaShulchan, no? What? Why?
I don't know. Let's see this Aruch HaShulchan.
No, that Aruch HaShulchan of after 7 days within 30, that he's lenient. Because if you don't sprinkle it in, and someone calls up to ask the Shaila and says, my wife just gave birth 2 weeks ago, does she need to fast? And you say, well, she's not in pain, if she's not weak at all, she does. That's a little bit of a stringent ruling. Because you do have others who are lenient, Shulchan, and we'll learn about that topic more. As long as they don't have a lot of pain, same halacha applies. She's a little sick. Even if she says that I don't need to eat, still she should eat. A little bit of pain. So you see that Mishna Berura is making this Ramah a little bit more lenient. Well, say she's got to be in a lot of pain. Mishna Berura says, she just gave birth. Go a little bit easier. She's a little sick. Says even in places where the custom is to be stringent, but Tisha B'av. This is a classic talk. On Tisha B'av that fell out on Shabbos, that was pushed off, so we fast the next day, you could be more lenient. Yishlahakel, one could be more lenient, Shaloi Tisana, that she would not fast. Okay? This is a classic psak. The Eli Rabba says, even if you have someone who just gave birth who is not fasting, tisana is a shalos. So she's not going to fast the whole day. She should at least fast what she's capable of doing a little bit of time. She can't do the whole fast, but let her do a little bit. Okay? That's
does it ever mention, all right, so this is, we're talking about Tisha B'av, so it's like when she should eat and what she should eat? Yeah,
we will talk about that. So far we saw that for the other fast that she shouldn't eat the delicacies.
She shouldn't
Tisha B'av would not be any more lenient than that. If by other fasts the person shouldn't be eating meat and wines, then certainly over here.
But so what about she should definitely she should fast at night, like
we're going to talk about that. We're going to cover that topic exactly when she would break it.
The Eli Rabba is going on also in it. Okay.
Now the Eli Rabba, no. The Eli Rabba says, let's say you have someone who just gave birth who is not fasting. Tisana is a shalos. Okay, so even if she gave birth, she should fast for a few hours.
That's it.
He's not talking about anything. Okay, regular Tisha B'av, a woman should do, and this is I think a very fair psak. You tell a pregnant woman after 7 days at least, look, do what you're capable of doing. Okay? The question becomes, and I'm just strengthening the question that was asked a few minutes ago, Let's say she knows that for sure she can't make it through the whole fast. Just going to pose a question. It's going to sound very surprising and shocking. Is it better for her to eat the night before and fast the whole day the next day? Or is it better for her to start fasting at night, make it as long as she could, and then break it the next day?
That one.
Why would anyone think that she should eat the night before? Very simple. Because if you fast, perhaps the strength of the fast, the most important part is from dawn until sunset. Because you get the whole day in. We'll see about that. I'm just posing a question that you never thought of, or no one would ever think that way. But we'll see. No one even had that Havamina, but we'll see about that. Okay, now. That's difficult for her, then she should not fast at all, even those hours. Next, Mishna Berura, Tezvav. You need to worry about a danger. If there's a danger, it's prohibited to fast. But make a someone who's lenient will not lose out in the kol shekain. But certainly, if someone is weak and he's sick, but there's no danger, it's not worthwhile for him to be stringent. Those are all the Mishna Beruras. There's something that's interesting. You learn the Mishna Berura, you say, okay, there's no din of achil b'shiurim. If you have to eat, you just eat small quantities. The answer is you're wrong, there is. The Ber Halach over here says, Ayin b'sefer pischi oilam, de b'makom she'in hamachle shel chalaria chazoko chos v'shalom yoichel pochos mikutebetz v'chilas pas. Oh. We see from this Pischa Yoilam that there's a concept of eating less than the size of a date. As discussed in Yom Kippur, you're supposed to have small quantities. Okay? And then he says over here, what's happening over here? And then he says over here, Kach yesh lahayrus, look at the parentheses. This is what you should paskin, l'shoyel, to someone who has the shayla on Tisha Beav, shebezel lo neker, at times l'gam rachman ali babai. You should tell them if they need to eat small quantities because Hashem wants our heart. Hashem doesn't want someone to sit down and have 3 slices of pizza and a mixed fries with ice cream for dessert to top it off. Okay? That's what we're talking about over here. Talking about you're going to be having waffles, pancakes, hash browns, eggs, all in one Suda. We're talking about. Calm it down. Okay? That's what we're talking about over here. This is the Mishna Beruras. Mr. Hashem, tomorrow we will continue. This is a good start. We certainly gained a lot of knowledge. And to recap, within 3 days, she does not fast. One last point. We already did the recap. Forget about the recap. One last point. Yeah, very quick recap. Within 3 days, she does not fast. Awesome. Within 7 days, she shouldn't fast. Within 7 to 30, according to the Mishna Berura, based on the Ramah, if she feels fine, then she should fast. If she doesn't, then not. According to the Shulchan, she definitely shouldn't. Like we'll see, after 30 days, she's like anyone else. What we haven't seen thus far is any heter for Meubaris. We haven't seen straight up permitting a pregnant woman. Shulchan Aruch said stringent, she's got to fast. So we're going to have to see halacha l'maisa if the post can address that. Not if, they will address that.
Right. By Tisha Beav, the Meubaris was supposed to fast.
Right.
Straight up. We saw the 3.
Right. You got no leniencies at it today at all. So we're gonna
check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna delve into that more.
Well, what about the lenient? What about
okay? To one of my chavros is his wife. We haven't seen anything. 1st month, 2nd month, 9th month pregnancy. We haven't seen anything.
What do you mean? What happened?
We haven't seen that there could be a leniency for a pregnant woman to break her fast on Tisha Beav. We haven't seen it so far.
But when just gave birth.
You're only seeing nursing or someone who just gave birth.
How you doing? Okay.
All right, we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
Look at this. Look.
Thanks so much.
What did you say?
This is one shoe. These are the.
If it's not leather, then it's fine.
I know, but and then this is the shoe I wear during. This is the shoe I wear during the. A lot of times. Can you see that?
Yeah, if it's not leather, it's fine.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't appear like it's.
Why dafka is leather a problem?
That shows man's mastery.
Oh, very good. Yeshua, very good. Yeshua.
So should we wear
Yeshua when he removed his shoe by the bush? 1 shoe, not 2. A lot of Yiddies in Yeshua.
Oh, in
Gotta publish that, 200 pages. What am I
Nach.
soaked him?
So Nach.
I've just been so busy.
I was doing that Gemara in Brachos, it says by the Machlokas of Shimon and Yochai, and I forgot the other one was, whether he's supposed to go Shimon and Elazar, I forgot what it is, whether he's supposed to work and then learn, or
Yeah, that's Rabbi Yishmael and Rashbi. Lamed Hayim and Beis.
Because
In the beginning of the Ketim Avarchim. Yeah, they say that's Rashbi Lishitascha because we know he was in a cave for 13 years.
Yeah.
Rashbi Lishitascha.
Wait, so should we have to wear leather shoes
They
the whole
say,
year?
by the way, the same Rabbi Yishmael, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Mishnah in Avos. This is my own chat. And he says that anyone who is learning in order to, that it leads to action, or anyone who's learning in order to teach, if I'm not mistaken, the